when the Duke's boys lie and string up the prosecutor. But I heard nobody talk about how they wrecked this man's life, how they wrecked Darby Tillis' life for 9 years, and all the rest of the 17 exonerees that was kidnapped, used, and abused. Nobody talked about how they wrecked our lives. Nobody talked about stringing up the prosecutor, tying him up, putting him on the railroad track. They're body snatchers. They're flesh merchants. They're same as pimps and dope dealers out at Cook County Courthouse, kidnapping young men, using and abusing them, and throwing us out here in society with no funds. They say I was tried so many times that I used up all the money that I couldn't win a lawsuit. I was tried 5 times more than anybody in the history of the United States. I'm growing old, I'm sick. I'm dying. There's no resources. And there are other men. We just met 20 of us that are suffering. And the system will not help us. But oh, how they wrecked the lives of those rich little white boys because they suffered a miscarriage of justice. What about my family? And this man here, everybody's focusing on DNA. That's all I get. What about prosecution misconduct? Lying, called misrepresentation of facts, withholding evidence, jailhouse snitches. We're being used and abused by this system. And it's time to stop. The death penalty is too flawed to be fixed. The magnitude of a death penalty case is so great you cannot try it without errors. It's time to abolish it. The Tribune say abolish it. People that believe in the death penalty have hate and revenge in their hearts. You're killers. Yes, you're killers if you believe in killing people. For what reason? It costs more of your taxpayer dollars to execute a man than it is to keep him in jail for the rest of his life. It's only a political platform for politicians and judges. State's attorney writes a book. Public defenders gets on TV. Policeman moves up in rank. Newspapers sensationalize stories. And with everybody and family be touched by crime, it's one up for a juror, for his loved one, or for his friend. Abolish the death penalty. The time is now.
Thank you so much. One of the attorneys who's working tirelessly along with the torture victims is Attorney Larry Kenneth. He's going to come to you and give you all the information you need to help us move forward on this protest, on this effort to get justice for the men who are still languishing behind bars.
Thank you very much. I'm Larry Kenneth. I've been working with the group who have been against abusive police and torturous police. As you know, this is the 5th anniversary of the appointment of the state special prosecutor. And a year ago today, the prosecutor's report was given out. Just this morning, a shadow report that opposes the report of the special prosecutor was published this morning at Northwestern University. And I have a copy of it in my hand here today that just came out fresh off the press. In this report, it indicates that the report of Judge Egan and Boyle was a sham. It was a further cover-up. It covered up Mayor Daley. It covered up Dick Devine, and is attempting to avoid prosecution of those persons who are responsible for the major torture of criminals and those accused of criminal injustices. I want to name also, we are not just concerned with Jon Burge. There was also Titus. We don't want the names of his cohorts to go unpunished. There was Ronald Buffo. There was, and I should Latino. I mentioned Latino. Also want to get anyway, we know that there are 5 primary persons who are a part of his crew. We want each of them to be prosecuted. In addition to that, though, those persons who are the residuals of the prosecution of Jon Burge's heinous effects are 24 who are left. Many of the others have already, as you know, have been exonerated by the great governor, Governor Ryan, who saw through the injustice of torturous confessions. We are now ready to see that the torturous confessions are made a part of the mainstream effort to overcome both the death penalty, but primarily to overcome the torture that we are suffering, that the black men of this country, the Latinos are suffering against from the torturous activities of the thug policemen. You just saw that there was a policeman who beat up a woman in a tavern. For the first time, the superintendent said that we have thugs on the police force. Those people who know that I've been working with against the brutality of these police, I've been calling them thugs for 30 years, and they have castigated me. Now it is acknowledged that the police force is full of thugs. All of the policemen aren't thugs, but we have a large number, and by seeing just the number here of those who are still in custody, who were the victims of those thugs who've been beating and torturing us. This is a culmination of what the United Nations has determined was torture, what the Amnesty International has considered as torture, and we know that there is widespread torture throughout the city of Chicago. They call it brutality when it's a little less than putting a prod to your testicles, but it is torture. We are demanding today that the superintendent or the new superintendent have a definite program to indict all of the officers who have made criminal brutality against those who are incarcerated, that there should be indictments, not just discipline, there should be indictments against the police as well as the freedom of those who have been wrongfully convicted.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Attorney Kenneth. Our next speaker is
many people who are concerned about injustice, ongoing injustice in our city. We live in a time when our nation has been called to task by the world for abuses related to Iraq. We come today as people of conscience, people who are concerned about America. We grew up at a time, my generation did, when China and Russia imprisoned more of their people per capita than any other nations in the world. But now the United States holds that record. I grew up at a time when we fought against totalitarianism, against torture, and against abuse. And now, lamentably, our nation is a prime exemplar of that kind of injustice. Unfortunately, the city of Chicago has not escaped that reality. And so we know that Commander Burge tortures professionals out of people. Some of those persons have been exonerated. Others still languish in jail. And so we come Today I come as a part of a religious tradition that speaks to justice